Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Guys on Gaffr, and we are back today, rudely interrupted by Abhishek's phone. We are back today with a Super League episode.
Sorry.
No, that's absolutely fine. And as always, joined by David and Abhishek. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right. It's good that fantasy football is back. Last week we had nice. It was nice to look at some club games because international games is so boring. I can't watch.
Yeah,
Kudos to a Formula One and some tennis matches. So it's we bide our time very well, but it's good to have club football back. How are
sure
you
is.
guys?
How's it going, David?
Yeah, I'm good. Sounds like you've been busy with watching everything that is Abhishek. I haven't watched that much. I've watched more Norwegian football, and I'm so happy it's back. Yeah, really excited for that one.
Strom's got set.
Yeah.
What are you hoping for, David? Mid-table? Europe? Is Europe possible? Is it like an outside chance of Europe?
If they had won yesterday against like the top team, like against Molde, they would have had a chance to get a place, but they lost 3-0. So I think I would be happy like upper half, middle maybe, because it's like some uncertainties, but they have their main striker back, so maybe it could go better.
Nice.
I'm not sure.
Nice.
Did your team make any new signings that you're excited about, or the same Friday show? If Friday performs, from God said performs,
Yeah.
or else.
I think it's pretty much like the same team, apart from some players in the midfield that's gone through the ranks. But yeah, nothing too exciting.
Cool. Yeah, it's been good to have club football back, as Abhishek said, and have fantasy back as we approach the run-in. Although the only downside is I have to bear Everton's inevitable demise and relegation that is coming. So yeah, last night was the killer. Really, I think get any sort of result out of that game, and we might, we're at least keeping them at arm's length, but that's killed all the confidence.
And you guys were okay till half time. The second half, what happened? I really don't know. What team talk Super Frankie Lampard has spoken to you guys? I really don't know.
Yeah, Everton have been in the top flight since I think it was 1953 or something.
Really?
My dad has never seen Everton outside of the top flight. That was before he was born, and he's been a lifelong Everton fan.
Yeah,
Which is crazy. It's crazy.
I think I have seen something of a stat that Everton has played the more number of games in top flight than any team.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's United's. Also, United, Arsenal, they are the oldest clubs here.
Yeah,
Everton has beat all of them, so it's really hard to see them go down.
it's crazy. It's a really significant
But
moment. And yeah,
the way they are playing,
I honestly think we're gone. The running is horrible compared to Burnley's, and there's just nothing I see in that team to suggest they're gonna do well. It's also been an interesting week for me because I found out that I lived right next door to Jed Spence, so that was crazy.
yeah.
Dropped off. He rang on my doorbell and gave to collect a parcel that was left around my flat on Saturday because he was off at Blackpool playing for Forest. So that was it's been a very interesting few days. So I'm about to move as well this weekend. So I've literally only known for a week that I'm living next to him, and then I'll be gone.
Okay.
It's a nice parting gift for you.
Yeah.
You have, yeah.
Something to keep in mind of the Everton streak.
Yeah. I should have invited him on the pod, shouldn't I?
Yeah. Still time.
Just about.
The views and listens would have gone through the roof.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and actually, I missed the Everton game last night because before the game got rearranged. The Everton game, I'd got tickets to go to watch the Forest game against Coventry with a mate. So had goal notifications on, checking quite anxiously at times whilst I was at the game. But Forest won again, which was good. So yeah,
I think
it's been
it's
interesting.
time to change. I think it's time to change your supporting colors.
I
I'm
can't.
guessing.
I can't. I was thinking last night, like after, like obviously I really enjoyed myself at Forest, but I almost feel bad like missing supporting Everton. And I felt a bit bad because it was such a huge game. It's probably the biggest Everton game in years last night, and now I'm like I kind of really. It's like the team need my support now. Not that it makes any difference because I can't go to any of the games because they're like it's like 50 quid and it's 3 hours away. But you know, yeah, I'm not changing allegiance, but it's hard. Let's look at our teams and get cracking with the episode, so we don't have to talk about Everton for any longer.
Yeah,
Because it's so
nice
depressing.
segue, nice segue.
Right, who've we got up first here? We have got Abhishek's team. So talk us through how your game week 31 went.
Well, it went all right, considering the teams that are playing each other. Salah not performing was really a killer blow, a- along along with Lewandowski not performing also. So my captain and vice captain total to I think 9 points. That really hurted me as far as Saturday was concerned. But after Nkunku's and Felix scored uh, nice hauls, it was looking a bit better. But I was expecting at least because both Salah and Lewandowski were facing candidates who were not very good in their respective leagues. So they should have at least scored or assisted something. But Lewandowski, Bayern Munich, we are seeing certain dip in form in Bayern Munich, especially they are not they are leaking goals as well. They're scoring goals loads, but with the attacking talent each side has in their ranks, the main guys seems to be not performing that much when the season started. So maybe it's a end of season, or maybe they are tired due to all those international games and AFCONs. They need a break. Maybe they will come good. So yeah, as far as captaincy and vice captaincy goes, it's total with 9 points. Nkunku and Felix, as I said, scored me the more majority of my points. That's 19 and 16. So out of that, if you subtract that 71 from 71, you can see how my teams perform. And Cancelo and Robertson gets me a half clean sheets. Robertson and Cancelo both clean sheets, so two half clean sheets. Angelino get me one half clean sheets, as well as Palmieri and Lopez. You expect Leon to not concede from what whoever they were playing, but
Oh,
they did concede. And yes, with a ridiculous did not perform. So overall, it's I scored 71 rank of 354th. I am stuck at overall rank of 6 for past 2 weeks. I don't know what to do anymore because
Oh,
I'm
I
not
feel so
moving,
bad
I'm
for
not
you, man.
falling.
Oh, Hara.
I'm not moving, I'm not falling. I'm stuck there. So
it's hard.
I
It's
think I
hard.
That's
need to
great.
go.
The best way ever you can get. Sixth place again. Oh,
Yeah, and the five guys ahead of me, they are increasing their lead by 2 points. Whatever points I deduct from that, I need to do something about it. And I think my luck needs to change and needs to change for the good, especially with the doubles coming. So
I mean, it's. I'm just looking at
let's
the
hope.
leaderboard now.
Fingers
It's really quite spread.
crossed. I have one boost left, so let's go.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry guys about the lag there on Abhishek's audio, but
Yeah.
we certainly got the vast majority of what he said there. But yeah, I'm just thinking the leaderboard and like the gaps. It's getting increasingly spread, obviously, as we reach the end of the season, and because there's kind of a much smaller pool of engaged players. I mean, the gap to 5th is like 35 points, which is crazy. Like considering. Yeah, moving on. David, your team is next.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a bad score or not of 65. Game week rank 421, and as you said, like how many players are engaged and more. I would think like maybe top 1,000 at least. So it's a okay score. I don't even know. What do you think?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm thinking maybe a few hundred engaged players.
Really?
I don't know though. It's pure guesswork. Like it's hard to tell.
It could actually be a very, very bad score considering who actually are playing it at the moment. But yeah, I also had Salah captain, so that didn't work out well. But the one thing was that went well was getting Benzema for Lewandowski as vice captain. So there was some points there. And apart from that, my defense was pretty good. And apart from Dumfries on the bench, also the same as Abhishek. But yeah, I feel like it was an average week. And I still think I can catch up quite a bit because I have 2 boosts left, and I would assume like many people have like just 1 at this point.
Yeah, that's true. That will be significant, definitely.
Yeah, I just need to get my head in the game again because like I'm not paying attention enough compared to the regular Gaffr game because it's so many leagues to keep tabs on. I still have like Mason Mount in my team and like Ocampos. They shouldn't be there. I still have Mr. David.
Your namesake. You still have that. That tells you that you haven't been looking
not
at your
having him
team
on
for
my
a long
team for
time.
so long, and then now he's like he's lengthy stay. So maybe he's a bit overdue.
He couldn't even score against bottom of the league this weekend. That was frustrating for me because I've got him 2 still.
Yeah. Okay. So you see, I don't even pay attention. I didn't even know he played against the bottom of the league. So that's just cements his booting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to do some thinking, and we'll come back to what we're doing later. But
yeah.
I think it was an okay score, and I'm still in the top 100, so I'm happy about that.
The glaring omission in your team, David, is no Nkunku. He's killing you all the time.
He's like the John Swift of Super League now. I'm just like reluctant to get him.
He's
like
so good. He's so good.
It's almost like I have never owned him in this game. That's crazy. If this was Fantasy Bundesliga, I would have him every week because it's easier to get him because you don't have to think like I have this many players from this league and not. I think I have space for him now, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just never got around to it. And I just have like other players that I want to focus on with doubles. So yeah, it's not like I didn't. I made the decision to go against him. Like I'm never getting him, but I'm just wanting to get all the players instead, and it hasn't worked out at all. So
yeah,
it's fine. And now he's probably done with all his faults. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess he's become essential at this point.
He has not having Nkunku has hurt a lot more than not having Mbappe because
100%.
I didn't own Mbappe at all, but it did not affect me that much. But the points that Nkunku provides, especially this season, I mean, it's astronomical that the way he provides everything goes through him. That Leipzig team, everything goes through him. So you have to find a way to get him in.
Yeah.
If you want to chase the rank.
Yeah, I was looking at the top scoring midfielders, and he's almost matching Salah for like almost half the price. So yeah, what am I doing?
Yeah. He'll have a big price hike next season in this game, that's for sure. If he's still well, regardless of whether he's still at Leipzig. Okay, my team. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this week. 92 points, -4. I brought in Benzema and Diallo, or however you say it, the Lille defender, for how do you say his name? Vlahovic. I've butchered that name. The Juventus striker, and Trent.
Just call him Dusan.
Dusan.
That's easy.
Yeah, fair.
So,
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was like a
brilliant.
1 week punt, Dusan, last in game week 30, and I captained him, and it worked quite well. This is the kind of perils of actually creating content, because I actually think people have been sleeping on Lille defence quite a bit. They've had, I think it might be 6 or 7 clean sheets in a row now, and I was looking ahead to game week 33 in their double, and needed to find someone to bring in who's a bit cheaper. And there is quite a bit of rotation in the Lille defence. When I was looking at it, I was like trying to find the one that was the most nailed, and it was, I think the most nailed one was like over 6 million, and I couldn't really afford that. But Diallo is 5.3, I think, and he seemed to be playing the vast majority of games, some at centre back, some at full back, so I went for him. So that worked out quite well. Captain Robertson, which just felt like going a bit different. He returned, he got the clean sheet, so I don't mind that, but obviously didn't put any sort of armband on Benzema this time, so it just cost me a handful of points. And João Felix has been killing it. He's been fantastic for me. Yeah.
Benzema, not going with Benzema is really hurting me because he's now scored 7 to 8 goals in the last 3 or 4 matches, including the Champions League.
So good.
He scored a hat-trick last night, right?
Yeah.
I should just start captaining him instead of like Lewandowski. Captaining him in Champions League in last night, and it's like they didn't play good at all. Like losing to Villarreal. That's good.
It's remarkable that in the 4 Bayern goals that they scored at the weekend, no returns for Lewandowski, no returns for Muller, no returns for Sane.
Yeah.
I had a real benching dilemma, and I decided to bench Sane in the end of my attackers, and thankfully it worked. But like when I saw Bayern had scored 4, you just kind of fear the worst. Muller is frustrating me at the moment. He's not doing well at all. But he's an easy move on to Mbappe, who has been a shoe-in for game week 33 for a while now. It's just a shame that kind of missed his big haul. I think this week depended a lot on if you have Mbappe, you've got a century easily, but thankfully he's fairly low owned. Like I don't know, I think it's 2 or 3 in the top 10 had him, and yeah, so it kind of really depended on whether you had him or not. And the people who had him captained him as well, so pretty insane for them. But yeah, 1 place, Green Arrow up to 10th, and I do still have away days in my back pocket, which quite a lot of the top 10 don't, so it'd be good to make a few gains, and it is going reasonably well at the moment. So let's move on and talk about, obviously we've got Game Week 32 coming up. We're going to talk about Game Week 33 in a moment and just go through the teams and talk about the ones that double individually. But just, you'll see on the screen, we have the ticker from now to the end of the season. So just to kind of bring you up to speed on the blanks and doubles that we've got coming up. So Game Week 33, it's a double for La Liga teams and Ligue 1, and also for Man United. They've got Norwich at home, Liverpool away. It does say on the ticker that Liverpool double, but they don't. I'm sure you're all aware of that anyway, because you play FPL. Presumably, the Aston Villa game has been postponed and moved to. Has it been rescheduled yet? I think it has, hasn't it? Was it 36? Has it been moved into 36, that game? I think so. But they only have a single game week in 33. And then there's a blank for La Liga in 34. And then 36 is another double. So yeah, La Liga all double again. And then, yeah, I think Liverpool double then, if the Aston Villa game's moved over there. Just worth checking that. Yes, definitely. That's definitely right, thinking about FPL. And then Chelsea double in 36 as well, and that's not on there yet. And Chelsea also provisionally double in 37, but that does depend on the FA Cup results. And finally, there's a blank in 38 for Bayern for Bundesliga, because that's the end of the German season. In Game Week 37. So that's where we are at. So still a lot to play for, a lot of fixtures to think about. let's talk about Game Week 33. I'm not going to talk too much about... we'll probably touch on boost strategy, but there's probably not too much need to go into an in-depth discussion because you're probably set in your strategy by now, especially if you've played 2 boosts already. But I'm sure we'll touch on it at some point. But the first team that doubles is Atletico Madrid, and they've got home games against Espanyol and Granada. What are your guys' thoughts on Atletico Madrid? Are there any assets you're looking at from Atletico, or are you kind of avoiding?
It has to be Felix, right?
Yeah, he's a standout, isn't he? I mean, he's a bargain at the moment. Anything to say about anyone else, though?
But, also with the if we look at game week 32 and game week 33, they have Malaga, Espanyol, and Granada. Yeah, so there may be a chance of getting 6 half clean sheets. 6 half clean sheets. So
You think they'll keep clean sheets in all 3 of those games?
Jimenez, hopefully.
Don't know. Yeah, they could do.
Those 3 sides that. Yeah, those 3 sides that they're playing are not not good. Might be a good way to look at their defense, especially if we look at Mandava and Jimenez, because you will not want to spend 6.6 and 6.7 million for a defender if you own Cancelo and Robertson already and ready.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Lodi's another one who's he's been playing left wing back, but minutes are an issue. I think minutes are just an issue across the board.
Budget.
Oh,
If you want to hold, I think, because apart from that, there is rotation in those fullback position. Jimenez and Mandava play the centre backs and wing backs, so I think those 2 seemingly, to me, from the offset, seems to be the most nailed players because they are playing in the Champions League as well. So plus they are within our budget because after after Trent, Robertson, and Cancelo, that's 18 to 20 million already. So what more can you add to it?
yeah. I think you're right. We're not going to be paying over 6 million for the more expensive defenders. So yeah, it's a possibility, but I think it's not a priority transfer, is it? Correa, if he's back in time, I'm not sure if he's back in time. Could be a good option, but that's about it. Any thoughts, David?
Yeah, I think you've covered most of it. Unlike the other midfielders, are kind of a minefield, I guess. Maybe is Cunha nailed, or is he like a rotation option as well?
I think there's a lot of rotation in the midfield, to be honest, as far as I know.
Yeah. And does all the 3 strikers play at the same time? Also, it's like Suarez, Felix, and Griezmann rotating as well.
Yeah, I mean, looks like it's Felix and Griezmann at the moment that are kind of in favour, and then Suarez is getting substitute appearances at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
So it's probably just Felix. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have Felix already. He's fine to hold, especially if you're not playing away days. But it's pretty uninspiring aside from that, I suppose.
Yeah.
Next team is a lot more interesting, though. Barcelona. We've got Cadiz and Real Sociedad. So Sociedad is a tricky game, but they are looking very exciting at the moment. And I think on our last pod, which I believe it was just me and Abhishek, we did talk a bit about Barcelona, and we said keep an eye on them and work out who is nailed out of their kind of attackers like Ferran Torres, Dembele, Aubameyang, Depay, Adama Traore. There were a couple of others that were kind of, looking like they could. It's quite hard to choose who was going to start. Now, it's looking like it's Aubameyang, Dembele, and Torres, right? As the front 3. That seems to be what I've picked up. So, yeah, I mean, who do we go for?
I'm just sitting here at the moment and just like drafting my potential overall as we're talking, and I was at one point having at least 2 Barcelona players, and yeah, the one I have right now as speaking is Aubameyang, because it seems like he's got a new start in Barcelona supposedly. I don't know what's happened there, but he's suddenly becoming good again. And also another player that you have mentioned at least now is Pedri. I think he's been talked about. I don't know if it's just like because he's a good player, like maybe a Xavi type or something, or if it's actually a fantasy asset. But if he is, he's quite cheap actually, 6.6.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have Torres, so he's obviously a hold at the moment. Yeah, I think Aubameyang is definitely an option. I'm put off by his price personally because money's quite tight anyway for me. But if money is slightly less of an issue for you, I think Aubameyang is definitely a good shout. Dembele, I'm a bit unsure on Dembele. I feel like if he was a midfielder, I'd be all over him because he seems to be getting quite a lot of assists. But yeah, he's looking like a good cheap option at 6.7 as well. It's quite hard to know where to go. Do you have any thoughts on Dembele? He gets subbed off a lot as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's the only thing that puts off me from Aubameyang, Depay, or Dembele, because Torres seemingly is sheer starter, and we are seeing for the past few weeks that Dembele and Aubameyang is starting, but points to they're not returning the misses they do. I mean, previous week, the miss of the attacking prowess they have and the kind of misses they do. I mean, really, it's really painful to watch owning a Barcelona attacker. But seemingly, I Dembele seems to be a rejuvenated player, since having his contract talks and whatever he was having with them since Xavi took over. There's a new life in him, as well as Aubameyang. But as Joe mentioned, price very much non-negotiable at the moment if you want to have those high-price midfielders. So looking at Dembele, looking at Torres, they seems like the most attacking or most potential to get those attacking returns. Mm, I might to take a slightly different route because seemingly Barcelona's defense, the two players, Alves and Dani Alves and Araujo, they are very much interesting me because they are hogging all the bonus points as well with those clearances, crosses. Araujo goes for those headers in the corners as well. And seemingly he looks like a better defender than PK. Although PK is aging now, but seemingly he is looking a bit better than PK. So I have eye on those two defenders. Possibly might bring one of them because I'm not bothered about clean sheets from Barcelona because they will eventually concede. So it's the attacking returns I'm looking at, and with the costly forwards they have, I think Alves and Araujo is the way to have own a second Barcelona defender, especially with the run they have till the end of the season. I think they have one hard game, and
Yeah,
on the last day of the season they face Villarreal. So
yeah.
till 37, apart from Sociedad, it's showing Betis as a hard game, but Betis I think as
Nah.
is not that much of a problem for Barcelona. So till 37, I think there must be certain don't want to own, if you can't own two attacking players, might be Alves and Araujo is your answer to go double Barcelona.
Yeah. Would you go Arajo or Mandala in if you want one of the La Liga defenders. Because they're like the same price, basically.
Well, as of now, I would. Yeah, as of now, we go Araujo. I would edge him out. But if it's Araujo and Jimenez, I would go Jimenez.
Interesting. The 5.5 to 6 million defender bracket is an interesting one. There's lots of decent options, I feel like, in that bracket, especially ones that could be overlooked. I mean, we've got like Angelino in that bracket, Militao, and then these guys. Yeah, it's. I hadn't really considered Barcelona defense, and I can't see myself going there, but it's an interesting shout because I am thinking about replacing Robertson in my team, so it could be one to look at. I don't know. Yeah, for me, the main thing is I'm considering Dembele or not. That's the main thing. But that's we've obviously talked quite a bit about him so far. Let's stay in La Liga then, as we've just been doing La Liga, and go to Real Madrid. Now I feel like we're not going to have much to say about Real Madrid. We can probably skip over this very quickly. But they've got 2 away games. I'm on away day, so that's brilliant news. Sevilla away, obviously that's a tough game. And then Osasuna. Need to check the tape. I'm just going off the abbreviation on the site. Let me get the table up. It's Osasuna. Okay. So 2 away games. Benzema, Vinicius Jr. and 1 more, right?
Yep, and for seemingly that's Militao.
Yeah, I mean that's who I've got. So I'm just sticking with Militao, and he's been good for me.
Yep.
I mean, Alaba's 7.1. You're not going to get him. Mendy's 6. It's Militao, isn't it? There seems to be a lot of rotation in that. Oh, actually, there was. I don't know if that's the case anymore, but that kind of other attacking midfield slot. Either way, whoever plays there, whether it's like Rodrigo, Asensio, or whatever, they're not returning. So, yeah, Militao, Vinicius, Benzema, and I feel like a lot of people are on them already. Anything else to say, guys, or should we just move on?
Yeah, just move on.
So moving on to our last La Liga team, Sevilla. They've got Real Madrid at home, Levante away. Does anyone interest you from them? I'm not particularly interested, but do you guys have any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not interested.
And the minute Acuna got injured, I don't think anyone from them were fancies real us as fantasy managers, because they rotate a lot and seemingly and they are also the nailed players are very much pricey. So apart from Acuna, and now Acuna is, maybe you could look at Kunde because he's looking a bit better, but he's a center back, so he doesn't give you that much of a points attacking returns unless there is a corner or a set piece. So yes, Sevilla is a pass from me. I don't think. Yes, Sevilla is a pass from me. I don't think anybody.
Does anyone know anything about Kudelj? Like, I've just seen that he's what?
What happened?
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there. I just like was talking, and then the window had. I think it might have been because I'm using my monitor. I might have accidentally clicked close down or something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, is the meeting still recorded?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, nice.
More editing to do. That's fine. Okay. What was this?
Which player you were talking about?
Okay, so I was wondering about the centre back. I don't know how you say his name. Gudelj. I noticed kind of he's played. He's if you look at kind of the form last full form on the Gaffr website, he's got 5.5 points per game. He's only 4.8. He's a centre back. I'm just wondering if he's nailed, because if he is nailed, he's a potential cheap option because we know they can defend. I mean, they do play Real Madrid, so you're probably not going to do it, but we know they're a good defensive team, and I'm just wondering if anyone knows anything about him because I've never heard of him before.
I thought it was a midfielder actually. But,
Oh, really?
Maybe it's moved back across the years. I think I remember him from the Ultimate Team as a defensive midfielder.
Well, doing a quick Google, yes, he is a midfielder, but he's been listed as a defender and he has been playing centre back, so that's quite interesting.
So kind of like Fernandinho role, he plays for Sevilla. Whenever there is an injury to their centre backs, Fernandinho slots in. So possibly they have in the Gaffr website, I think they are saying Carlos and Koundé are fit, so they have their two centre backs. So why is he playing in centre back?
I was only looking at one game. I'm getting his stats up on Transfermarkt now. I'm just seeing. Yeah, he played defensive midfielder against Barcelona at the weekend, and then he played 3 games in a row at centre back. He doesn't seem that nailed actually. He's started the last 5. But before that, his minutes were limited, whether that's to do with injuries to other players in the team, which is why he's been getting started. I'm not sure, but he's probably a no from.
Yeah.
From
basically, he's a defense. So basically, he's a Rakitic and Jordan sub player. So he is their replacement. So I think one of Carlos or Koundé is injured.
Right. Okay, that would make sense. I think it's Carlos who's out the side at the moment. Okay. From an attacking point of view, we're not going to get any of their midfielders, and we're not going to get any of their strikers, are we? Martial's not doing it really.
Let's move to France.
Yeah, let's move to France. There's actually some quite interesting things to talk about in Ligue 1 because they've not been a factor in our seasons for quite a while, but they are now, and there are some quite good options around. So first, it's Lille, home to who's L-E-N, and away to Reims. I'm very bad with pronunciation, I must say, especially with French teams. I'm all right with Spanish teams.
Yeah,
Long. Long. I think it's probably long. L-E-N-S.
That's Lens, right?
Well, if you're going to pronounce it the English way, then yeah. I'm sure if there's any French people watching, I do apologise for our terrible pronunciation.
Yeah.
But Lille, okay, Lille are quite an interesting one because, okay, let's have a look at their defensive record. I'm pretty sure it's like 7 clean sheets in a row. Then they did concede against Chelsea, but in the league, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clean sheets in a row in the league. I do think they're being overlooked defensively, personally.
Yeah, they are. They are overlooked.
Now, yeah, when I was researching it, when I kind of wanted to bring one in this game week, like I said before, I think it was Celik's probably their best option, who plays right back most of the time. He was like 6.2. There was Goodmanson, who I considered, who's like 4. I think he was only like 4.5, really cheap, and he sometimes plays left wing, sometimes plays left back.
Yeah, he's on my radar for this or game week 33.
Yeah,
He's on my radar.
He's just not nailed. That's the thing. He looks like he is going to start at least 50 to 70%, 50 to 70% of the games, maybe. But I think I settled on Diallo, thinking he was probably a bit more nailed. And he sometimes plays centre back, sometimes plays right back. And I think for Lille, we're not really looking at attacking returns from their defenders anyway, because they're not scoring many goals as it is. So I just thought, clean sheets may be the main thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking on Lille defence. David and we both have Jonathan David still in our team somehow. I swear I broke him. I reckon I've had him since like game week 15 or so. I don't know. Are you the same?
Yeah, probably. I can check. I don't know. I've had him for ages.
He was amazing, and then we bought him, and I think he scored like maybe 2 goals or something in like 10 game weeks. And there's always other fires and different things to do. transfer-wise, or at least speaking for myself. And it's like, I actually think I'm going to transfer him out despite the double game week, because he is so frustrating. He's nailed as anything, but the return, like they put 4 past Clermont, and he got nothing still. I think he might be benched that game. There was one game where he was benched out of the blue.
Yeah, the problem is that Lille is not scoring freely, which they were since after till December. They were very much free-flowing side, but since the turn of the year, they haven't been that much of a fluent playing footballing team. They are dogging out the results. More nil-nils are there than more nil-nils, 1-nils are there than 4-nils, 5-nils, which were a constant theme till December.
I've just seen
David was
that they have, just to build on your point, they've scored 2 or more goals in a game only once in the last 11 games.
What?
Yeah.
I've had him since
and
22. Oh wow, yeah. I think I've had him longer than that.
on the last 11 games, and you guys have hold David for that many long time.
Yeah, it's bad. He should not be anywhere near my team. I should have probably taken, because the problem is I take quite a lot of hits in this game, and I think I've never quite been able to justify that extra hit. But he should have been gone a long time ago. I'm just scrolling back now. I've had him since game week. It's game week 20. No, 21. Same as David.
Basically, Lille hasn't scored more than 2 goals in 11 game weeks, and you have from game week 20. That's 12 game weeks.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually. David, what were you going to say?
Yeah, my form in this game went down from around game week 21.
Okay.
And so it's coincided with me getting him, so yeah.
So yeah, don't buy him. Probably even sell him if you have him.
Yeah.
I think, anything else on Lille, guys? Any midfielders?
No, apart from, you guys, you have covered it all, because
Yeah,
no
so
one
most people already have like people maybe.
Yeah, only defenders go for their defenders.
Yeah.
This team.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of nicking 1-0s at the moment, that's for sure. Next team's Monaco. I have not been following Monaco at all for a while. And their double is Rennes away, Nice at home. So not the easiest double, if my knowledge serves me correctly. Yeah, and is there anyone for Monaco that takes your interest? I feel like there probably is. There might be a hidden asset in here that's not being considered because we're just not looking at it.
Yeah, I think their striker Ben Yedder is probably overlooked because he's so expensive.
9.5, yeah, it's a lot, isn't it?
They probably look like at FIFA cards and decided, yeah, he's going to be in form all the time. Because like he is notorious for being overpowered in FIFA, but maybe not in real life.
He's in a couple of teams. I think second place has him at the moment, which is interesting. I mean,
yeah, I think he's their talisman. He has the penalties as well. So really, it's either him, and we all have Newell. So that's the only 2 guys from Monaco to own, if you really want to own. And I think Newell has been in our squad for what? All 32 game weeks? He hasn't left.
Yeah, that's good.
Newell and Kogel. Yeah, he left my squad at one point for De Gea, but I totally get you. Yeah, I'm sure you're not alone in having held him the whole time. They do have a few, like their defenders are quite cheap. Like Badiashile, it's 4.3, and 5 points per game last 4. Small sample size, but
I owned Silva for I think 2 or 3 game weeks, but he got benched in 2 game weeks out of that 3 game weeks. So that transfer went down well.
It's still fairly nailed though, isn't it? It's just the odd game he's going to miss.
Yeah.
I'm also surprised to see like Golovin is in the team and like so low on points, because I remember him being so good in the World Cup some years ago. So he's not
Yeah,
taking chances.
especially the last World Cup, he was really running the show for Russia.
Yeah, we haven't seen.
That's Monaco then. Not much to say about them. Lyon are actually a bit more interesting, I think. That's our final. No, not our final Ligue 1 team. We've obviously got PSG still to go. So you've got Lopez. Have you got Lopez, Abhishek? Or am I imagining that? That's an interesting one.
No, I have got Lopez.
Their defenders are dirt cheap as well. But a bit more interesting is a certain striker, Moussa Dembele, seems to be back and firing. 10.25 points per game the last 4. Did you get a brace at the weekend? I think it was a brace.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I'm going to get him for the double. They've got who've they got? Bordeaux, who are bottom, and it's STA. I think that might be Strasbourg. Decent fixtures. They are still in Europe, in the Europa League. Or is it the Conference League? I think it's Europa League. But yeah, I think he's a great option, and I think again he's starting to creep into a couple of teams, but he could be template by the time he gets to 33. Are you guys considering getting him in?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it for my potential overhaul.
Yeah, if I'm going to play goal-faced in game week 33, which is my pre-plan, so I have to get him in, because he has, out of all the double teams, he I think has the easiest in terms of attacking along with Felix. Everyone has one hard game in that double. I think Real Madrid has Sevilla, PSG has Marseille, which is there. I think it's a derby. PSG Marseille. Lyon has the easiest, along with Lille has. Why is Lille has 2 easy games, but their forwards are not firing. So yeah, Moussa Dembele and Joao Felix could be a template forward for those who are playing goalfest. I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm also looking at like the midfield, because there's pretty much many like defensive midfielders and stuff, but like Lucas Paqueta could be a bit.
And the other guy,
he can be another.
Favre. That was a tip from Alfred. He liked the look of him, as well as Paqueta. Favre. I don't know much about him, to be honest, but Alfred was talking him up quite a lot, so he could be another good option. But Lyon are only 9th. They're actually very hit and miss form-wise.
Yeah, I haven't even looked like how the Super League teams are doing.
There's going to be some different teams next season in terms of the French league, definitely.
More work for us to do.
Yes.
To do more work.
It looks like Lyon, they are scoring goals at the moment. They're just a bit leaky at the back. So I don't think we should worry about going into their attack. But we do obviously have to bear in mind they do have a Europa League quarter final, I believe. Why does on the website I'm looking at it says West Ham versus Lyon, but that doesn't make sense to me. I thought they had the last 16. Oh yeah, that's tonight. Yeah, ignore me. Yeah, that's fine. I was just glitching out. I'm like, is it first leg or second leg tonight? And I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, yeah, because West Ham beat Sevilla, didn't they? Which is very impressive. Anything else to say on Lyon?
No, let's move on to
PSG.
Paris. Okay.
Mbappe.
Paris.
Do we dare go for Messi or Neymar?
I want you to stop
I
Mbappe.
I'm
Maybe
not even
that's-
going. I'm not even going Mbappe towards him, close towards Mbappe. So no point in going towards Messi.
It's a bold move. It's a bold move. Not going for Mbappe.
Yeah,
So you're just
and I
holding
have
Salah
been.
through? Is that what you're planning to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm planning to do because big game against United and City. If Salah somehow scores a goal, somehow, I will be very much over the moon with that. And Liverpool has the talent, has the quality. It just seems that every side in the Premier League has figured Salah out, be it also in the Champions League. They are marking him now. And like I think on the Man on Pod said, I think Martin or Craig, whoever was, I was listening to them, and also another pod I was listening to them, and they are saying the same thing. I think so. Salah is getting marked, and that frees up for a lot of that frees up balls for Diaz, Jota, and Mane, and whoever plays up top if Firmino is fit. So that's a thing to worry. That's a thing really about worry. If they are isolating him, then he will not be able to provide unless there is a penalty. He will not be able to provide any points. But still, I don't know why my I seem to not own Mbappe in any of my fantasy teams. I don't know why. It's
Don't
certainly
get
when
don't get blinded of the lost points, mate. If he's the obvious pick, you should probably get him.
Especially where you are in the standings.
Yeah,
yeah,
you can drop fast if he's getting captaincy holes in double game. Can you have Salah
yeah,
getting a 2-pointer? That's like
yeah,
you rank. Yeah, not good.
yeah. It's really a tough decision for me because
Yeah,
seemingly
if
when
I'm losing him,
Mbappe
it
plays,
won't be hard at all. It's like
yeah,
he's a midfielder in the game, plays striker. He's
mm,
probably going to score pretty much. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
pretty sure I'll 100% get it.
Me too.
I think
Definitely coming
I
in.
might. I think I might sell after you guys are selling, and every every Twitter group I am in, everyone is saying get Mbappe. So I might sell Salah for Mbappe. That's
Yeah,
what.
don't be stubborn, man. You
Yeah.
want
Yeah,
to win this.
it has worked till game week 32. Might be. So I was thinking about why should I? But seemingly in terms of forms and stats, it's looking likely. So yeah, might do it.
And I guess it's a bit of a non-discussion like Neymar and Messi, because if we're going to get Mbappe, we're probably not going to be able to afford Neymar and Messi, considering they're probably better, cheaper options. Defensively,
Uh,
they're conceding too many goals and the defenders are too expensive, right? You guys agree with that?
if Mbappe was a striker in the game, it would be a bit easier maybe to get the one of Messi and Neymar. But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think it's the same now.
it's very true. It's very true. Yeah, so I feel like we're not really going to see anyone have two PSG players in their team, considering
Yeah.
their defensive issues. So.
I would. The only reason I would get defender from PSG would be like because it's like a song about the French national team, where the song is just singing names from the players that are in the team, and I think one of the most fun parts is the Kimpembe part.
Oh, okay.
Kimpembe.
I've not seen that.
You should listen to that song. It's amazing.
Yeah, after the World Cup victory, they sang everyone in the French national team has a song, and so
Okay.
whoever plays they have a song. I think I heard the Kante song and whatever. I think I have heard the Pogba song as well. So they really have songs. They're really good to watch. That bonding the French side has. It's really nice after the debacle they had in South Africa. It's a really exciting and good young team. So yeah,
Yeah, but we don't want them
moving
winning the
on.
World Cup this year, because obviously England are going to win it,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
England is gonna win, I am going to make a bold prediction. If Pickford is not in goal, then there is a high chance England will go through
No,
pretty far.
no. Pickford's not the problem. You keep saying Pickford's had a bad season. He's not had a bad season. It's just because Everton have been shipping goals. It's not because of Pickford. It's because the defenders in front of him have been pretty atrocious. It's Pickford's been pretty good, and he always does well for England. So I don't think he's not going to be the reason. If England don't win the World Cup, he's not going to be the reason unless he pulls off an absolute clanger. Which is possible.
Yeah,
I mean, it does happen.
Yeah,
But
yeah. You can't control that thing. If Messi has a worldly of a free kick, if Mbappe scores a worldly of a, if France scored a worldly counter-attacking goal, you can't do anything about it. But see, if
Yeah.
Mr. Southgate is listening, Pickford is your problem.
he's not. He's really
you
not.
need to start. You need to start somebody else in that side.
Nah. Pickford's fine. One more team that doubles then, and that's Man United. And I don't think we need to dwell on them for too long. Don't think any of us are going to go Ronaldo in this game because everyone else is just better.
Maybe Bruno.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe Bruno but or Sancho. But apart from that,
Yeah.
the kind of form United are in, it's my humble request: stay away from them. You only gonna get two. You only are gonna get 2 points, so stay away from them.
I would actually, well, we were talking some minutes ago. I was like putting in cheap like fifth midfielders in my team, and the one I got like without checking was Fred, because he's like 4.9, and he can get some
Sure.
like defending bonus and clean sheet points.
How much is Alanga?
Yeah, he has.
Is that-
Good question.
I think 5.5.
So cheap.
5.5. Nah, not gonna go there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not looking at United because I'm playing away days, and the away game is Liverpool. I mean, I'm going to play De Gea, obviously, but no one else. Sancho.
You get save points and performance bonus points from De Gea because there will be a lot of saves from him.
I don't hate Sancho. It's very much a 1 week punt. 7.9 million, and there's probably better options, I guess.
As David said, Fred is an option because he's becoming an option. We haven't thought about him since the start of the season, but seemingly he has grown himself into a good player this season. So and also he is scoring the odd goals here and there. So yeah, he might be a good enabler if you want to own those heavy assets up front. He's 4.9. He's reasonably cheap. So,
I can only see it if he's one you're going to put third sub every week and then call upon when needed. I don't quite. I mean, to me, he seems like one of those assets that, you know, it's like a defensive midfielder. Occasionally, a defensive midfielder will score a couple of goals in 2 games, and then they're not going to score for a few months or whatever. Like that. That's my impression of things. But I don't know, as a United fan, whether you see things differently, Abhishek.
I think the thing is that especially with the fixtures, especially the next and before Liverpool, the Everton one and the Norwich one, seemingly I think United will be much more attacking. Whether they will score or not, I don't know. But if they are going to win with the odd goal and what, then likes of Fred, Elanga uh, can be the dark horses to score that goal. If the likes of Fernandes and Ronaldo is not scoring early, if United are not scoring early, they're scoring in 70, 75 minutes, 80 minutes, and nicking a 1-0 win, then seemingly the likes of Fred, Sancho, or Elanga will be your goal scorers. Because apart from that, I don't think if United is scoring 4 goals, then rest assured there will be Bruno and Ronaldo written all over it. But if they are nicking out 1-0 wins or 0-0 draws, then yeah, Fred, Elanga will be your guy to score the odd goal. So yeah, in a nutshell, stay away. If you are, if you want points, then stay away. But if you want, as I said, if for those purposes to own Mbappe and something like that, you need a cheap midfielder. Then Fred is your guy.
Cool. So that's all the doubling teams. Obviously, as any double game week, be careful of single game week players who could still smash it. So Nkunku is an interesting one because they do have Bayer Leverkusen, which is on paper a fairly tough fixture, but I wouldn't be that. I wouldn't sell him, definitely, with the form he's in and the goals that Leipzig are scoring. So obviously there's that, and Bayern Munich do have a really good game week. They have a good fixture as well. So, you could sell Lewandowski for a doubler. Could work. Or Lewandowski could score a hat-trick. You just don't know what's going to happen in that respect. So, yeah. Are there any others? Go on, David.
Would you get Nkunku on an overhaul this week and then the goal test next week?
That's a tough one. I'm honestly not sure. Probably, because he's probably one you'd want to hold the rest of the season.
Yeah. Especially since I've not had him.
Yeah. My suggestion would be, irrespective whether you overhaul or not, you need to get him in. If you are not willing to miss those 19 points haul, I think he has scored more 19 points haul than anyone in this game.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think I'm in a better position with my dilemmas than you. Like, I have the dilemma if I get Nkunku or not, and you have Mbappe. So, yeah, I think I'm going to get both.
Yeah, fair. Probably a good call. Yeah. I mean, those are the standout single game week fixtures. City have a decent fixture. They've got Brighton. Liverpool have United. They could do well. So, yeah, usual advice. Just, 11 doublers might not necessarily be optimal. Depending on your team, of
KDB
course.
might be another one which we have missed out. KDB is looking like the old KDB, especially this in the past few weeks. So KDB can be an option, but against Liverpool, he seems to score in the big games too. Also, so KDB can be an option. He's 10 million, so if you are looking for a salary replacement or whoever is salary replacement. And if you're looking to spend Lewandowski money, if you're selling, then KDB might be another option to look forward.
Yeah, I agree. A City attacker could well become, a really good asset. Whether it's De Bruyne, could well be De Bruyne. It could be someone else like Sterling or Foden. In FPL, that's like my quandary in FPL. It's like, do I mostly ignore City, or do I try and get them in? Because I think I can quite easily plan a route in FPL without City players. But whether that's a bad mistake, I don't know. Maybe in this game it's a bit less important, but yeah.
And also, I think to consider is like when we are planning for this double game week, we can only have 5 players from each league.
Yeah.
And this will leave you with like having to choose between one or 2 players from the league, because you can't have. Maybe you have to just take away a defender and just have 2 minutes or like the opposite. But I would assume like most of us don't have any Premier League players at the moment.
Yeah.
So you have lots of spaces for them, and using those spaces can free up spaces from the other leagues. So that's my business.
Cool. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah, I have 5 La Liga at the moment, and obviously they blank in 34, so we'll have to think about that, even though they've got their double. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's do questions, shall we, David? I'm guessing you've got the questions ready.
Yeah.
It's been a handful.
Mm-hmm. We can start with, let's see. We can start with Angus McPhail, Angus501, good friend of the pod. He's asking Moussa Dembele or Ousmane Dembele or both. That's the first part of the question. And also he's asking, if you're playing a boost in Gaming 33, would it be park the best or go fast? You can also take ID towards questioning, apart from Gaming 33. Which is the best week to use a boost if you have 2 left? So Dembele's and boosts. Let's go.
Dembele's first then. What do you guys think?
I would gravitate towards the striker Dembele first, and if you have the space, maybe Ousmane as well.
Yeah. In my mind, it's dependent on your budget, like how much money you've got available. If you've got the money, probably Moussa Dembele. And it sounds like he probably does have the money, considering he's asked the question. Because he's just a talisman, isn't he? But I actually looked earlier. I tried to do transfers that involved getting rid of Felix and David and Muller. And I put in both Dembele's and Mbappe, and I was 0.1 short, which is annoying because I quite fancied that. But I don't hate both at all. I think both could be a good, especially if you don't have the money for two premium strikers, and there isn't really a second premium striker other than Benzema. Lewandowski, obviously, you could keep, but two premium strikers is difficult at the moment. So I don't hate both at all. Actually, I think both could be really good. Abhishek, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean both Dembele's they are 1 million. I think Moussa Dembele is 7.7 and Ousmane is 6.7. So really 1 million in it. If you are really looking to spice up your forward line and break the template, where we all have what Lewandowski and all the Lewandowski money, and we have a cheap forward in four, 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 4.5 million forwards we have, or everyone owns Dybala. So if we are doing, let's say, Lewandowski and Dybala who owns and go for double Dembélés, then that can be an option. And, but I have to give edge to Moussa Dembele simply because of the nature of the fixtures they have. And I
That's
know
true. That's true.
Barcelona is currently on super duper form. They are scoring goals for fun. They're looking like the old Barcelona. But still, I think mm, if we are going to compare the two Dembeles, then Moussa Dembele edges it out ever so slightly.
It's close, but yeah, sounds like we were agreed pretty much. Um,
Yeah.
so what was the next question? Park the bus or Golf Fest this week?
Yeah, and just like if it's another week that people should use the boosts if you have two left.
It's honestly quite hard to answer that question because we don't know what his defense is. And if we,
Yeah.
either way, I'd probably lean Golf Fest anyway. I think the upside's a lot greater, and you can still
Yeah,
put the captaincy on Benzema.
if you have two left, I would assume you could play like both of those in different weeks.
Yeah.
Because most defenses I've seen have been quite strong. There's like not like many teams I've seen that have like one place that's like written off with a fault. Because like there are not many like very cheap defenders in this game.
Yeah.
That people are at least using. You know there are some. So I would assume he's quite well set up for Octopus as well if he has, considering that as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
agree. Go fast for me too.
Cool. Yeah. And then in terms of the other week to play a boost, I mean, surely it's 36, right? Because obviously La Liga double again, and so do Chelsea and Liverpool. So 36, right? To answer
Yeah.
AD's question.
Yeah. It's yeah. If for me, park the bus. Don't think there is that much of a defensive. Those guys that are those teams that are doubling. Apart from Atletico Madrid, they have a nice, uh, yeah, matches to play your defenses. Apart from that, none of the double teams really are doing well defensively. Apart from Lille and Atletico Madrid. So if you are playing Parc de Bus, you only get two teams to play. If you are playing at 33. So goal faced seemingly with all the attackers that everyone has, the likes of Nkunku, Vinicius, Benzema, Sane, Mbappe. Goal faced seemingly is the best possible chip, whether you play in 33 or in 36. But instead of so what I have seen here that Captain Fantastic is that Captain Fantastic?
Yeah, that. that's in this
Yeah,
set.
that might be another option instead of park the bus. To answer Eddie's question, he has two left. If he's thinking about playing park the bus, then I think Captain Fantastic seems to be a better option than park the bus, especially with the fixtures remaining.
Yeah, I would say
And
only if the
that
defense
what's
is.
left.
Oh, sorry. I've,
Yeah, so Goldface and Captain Fantastic seems to be the two boosts, and 33 and 36 are the weeks to play it.
the thing is with Captain Fantastic, it's less fixtures than part of the bus. So I think if your part of the bus is looking really bad, like let's say you're stuck. Like for example, in my team, like I've got Hatterbauer in my team, and he's 4.2, and he's really hard to move off to a good player, and also whilst maintaining. It means I'm going to have to make a really big sacrifice somewhere else in my team that I don't want to make. So if you've got a situation that's similar to that, then I can see the merit in Captain Fantastic. If one of your defenders isn't great. Aside from that, I think it's got to be part of the bus because it's essentially an extra 2 games. And then if it's a double, compounded on top of that as well. Just the multipliers are better. I guess the flip side, you could say maybe this is where you were coming from, Abhishek. The quality of the players you can captain, like you could captain a Benzema or Lewandowski, or probably not Lewandowski because he doesn't double, but these are the best players in Europe, and in any given game week they can hit a hat trick, even more so than in say FPL when it's just the Premier League. So if you're looking at it from that perspective and maybe trying to just catch a monster haul from somebody with Captain Fantastic, I get it. I think that's
And
that
also
could work.
another reasoning behind it is because till when we are in game week 36, we will probably own Mbappe, Nkunku, and the likes of those guys. And PSG is playing what? Troyes, who are I think 18th or 19th. So that might be a really good game for Mbappe. Leipzig play Augsburg, which may be a tough game because Augsburg is doing well really. But yeah, and Benzema, Real Madrid is doubling, so no point
So
in
you'd presumably stick the captaincy. If you're playing Captain Fantastic, you stick that on Benzema, then don't you?
yeah,
And then Vice, maybe Vinicius, maybe a
Mbappe,
Barcelona player,
yeah,
maybe Mbappe, but obviously it's a single game week. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe.
Should we move on to the next question?
Yeah, let's do that.
yeah.
It's one from FPL Commander, and he's having a bit of a team-specific question to his own team. He's asking, am I missing some essential players in the squad, and can you guide me through so I can get closer to FF Joe in the mini league that I'm second in, please? That's the first part. And he's also asking about boosts, who we talked about that, and he's hoping to redeem the misuse of the budget buster Hermione. So I think Joel, you can maybe answer this.
What? But I don't want him to get closer to me. Don't want to give him advice. No.
Yeah, just give him bad advice and we can move on.
Buy Mahrez because he's nailed. Have triple Dortmund defense and buy Luis Suarez. There you go.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this team right now, and he's probably, most of the players he has is all looking good for the doubles. Just so we get some good answers, I would just say maybe get Benzema for maybe Royce. I like the Ben Yedder pick. Korea is interesting. Yeah, maybe Mbappe. So yeah, just listen to what we had said about our player picks this game. We can just get as many as possible, I would say, and maybe get Allison out of your goalkeeper spot because it's too expensive.
Yeah, I mean,
Agreed. Yeah.
Look at his bench. He has benched Allison. He has benched Trent. He has benched Cancelo. That's pretty bold.
Well, it is City. It is City against Liverpool, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but even though they will not earn any, I can understand the benching of Ellison, but Trent and Cancelo can get attacking returns even if they don't concede, even if they concede goals.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion on that is, I think it's fine to start them, and I think it's fine to bench them because it's so unpredictable, that game. Like, yeah, like I
Yeah,
honestly think it's not clear cut to say you should definitely start them, you should definitely bench them. I just think it's who really knows.
I think he can bench Salah for Trent. That's
Yeah.
that's one thing he can do. And if he's not, and for his Korea is looking likely injured, so Cancelo might come on anyway. So he's probably looking good, but
Mm.
that strike force, I think that apart from Phoenix, Reeves and Ben Yedder, you are spending what 9.5 and 8 point, close to eight and a half. Two strikers. Why not spend it on Dembele's?
Yeah, I mean, Ben Yedder's fine, as David said, I think. It's just Royce is that weak link that needs moving on,
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I think that's good. And we have one final Gaffr related question from Alfred Marsal. I can say that because I'm Scandinavian. And he is basically saying get this player, but I can read what he's saying anyway. He's saying, is Theo Hernandez the best asset in the game? Full statement. Plays for a solid defensive team, plays like a winger on corners, on free kicks, and on penalties. I didn't know this. And I've overlooked him and basically had every other Milan defender in my team at some point, apart from Hernandez because he's a bit more expensive. So
I have also not owned him all season, so clearly I don't think that just by my actions. But yeah, like he is a great asset, absolutely.
Sounds like the trend of La Liga with penalties. So that's actually amazing.
Greatest asset in the game, I'm not sure if he's 5.8. I mean, what's his total points? Is he the highest scoring defender or what?
The next highest, I think, as well. He's like 100%.
He's the fourth highest scoring defender. He's
okay.
60 over. He's like 56 points behind Trent. Although I don't know if he got injured at any point. Hernandez. It's possible that.
I think he was not playing all season, so I think he would be like up there if he wasn't.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, he's a very good asset. Best asset in the game. Not so sure. Yeah. He's no Nkunku, and I know he's not owned Nkunku all season. So, you know.
Really?
Yeah, and somehow he's managed to stay in the top 10. Like, fair play.
yeah.
He's Alfred, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
We've talked about how consistent he is across the games before, so yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Anything to add, Abhishek?
2 words. Get him.
You're hoping to finish above Alfred, aren't you, Abhishek? By the way, I reckon you really want to finish above him.
Of course, of course, with the trouble he has sent me to for whole season, I seemingly at least in one game I need to finish above him, just because in every other fantasy games he is just killing it. So at least in one game I get to beat him.
Yeah, definitely.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, 2 more questions and then we can call it a night after talking about our teams. One question is from EFL Fantasy Podcast, our twin podcast, we should say. And they're asking, which of these teams would you most like to go and watch live? So I presume he's talking about Super League teams.
Ooh, that is a good question.
That's a good question. Yeah, I like it.
Just having to think. I mean,
it's easy for me. Bayern.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. Yeah.
I've never watched them. That's crazy. Need to do something about that.
That's on the bucket list, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I don't like PSG, but just the fact that they've got Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, just seeing them all on the pitch at the same time would be pretty cool.
That's probably the only time that's happening in like ever again. So
yeah. So maybe I'd say PSG, but I like the Bayern shout as well. I like Bayern as a team, so yeah.
So I have three that I have in my bucket list. Apart from United, which I don't need to say anything about it. But in the Super League, I have three. Would like to go and watch it at Camp Nou.
Hmm.
It's one of my really my friends and certain family members have watched it, and there is no other atmosphere like that. I am also willing to watch Dortmund because they have the loudest fans,
That'd be cool.
seemingly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, Barcelona, Dortmund, and I would love to see one of the Milan teams in
Fair.
Milan. That's one of my really sweet spot to visit. I think that's currently number one in my bucket list. Hoping to visit Milan soon and watch any one of them. Either it's AC Milan or Inter Milan or
So
even
what's the
Lazio.
derby? What's the derby when they go against each other and they got the
Yeah, Inter
twin one?
Milan might. Yeah, it will be fascinating because both sets of fans. I think, the Inter Milan, the ultras, they have certain songs which will be very nice to hear. Although I
Probably not
wouldn't
very
understand
nice.
any of.
A bit weird, but yeah, I just
Yeah, but yeah.
I
So
rate.
yeah, that
Go on.
yeah. Go on.
I was just gonna say I kind of rate that you've gone down the more like atmosphere route rather than kind of
yeah,
like thinking
yeah,
about the
yeah.
team and the players. Like I want to go to visit the best stadiums for atmosphere. I like that. I think that's some good
Yeah,
shouts there.
because we watch football in either in live stream or television. Why will we? I want to experience the atmosphere because everywhere I read or everywhere wherever my friends are posted in Italy, say someone is posting, they say go and watch a live game just to watch the atmosphere or the
Mm.
fans because some
Yeah,
of the most passionate fans are of football teams. So that's an interesting thing that I want to watch or I love to watch because yeah, whatever games I have in my country, I tend to watch the atmosphere and I tend to watch. I love those kind of situations.
yeah,
Irrespective of the game, we get to know the score at the end of the 90 minutes, whether it's for football and if it's for cricket, like after whatever over is left. But the atmosphere is something I really love to watch, and you can really make some cool, interesting things with that. So yeah, that's for
yeah.
that's how I base my teams that I want to
Yeah.
watch live.
I can vouch for that. Absolutely. I was at the game for the second tier in Norway on Monday. It was like one of the best atmospheres I've been in. It was like it was only like 2,000 people there, and most of the people were in the way and with me. And like the atmosphere was crazy, and like the game was ended 5-1, and I think it was the cousin of Erling Braut Haaland scored a hat trick. It's an amazing game.
That's
And
cool.
like
That's cool.
I was just like cheering like I was the supporter for that team, even though they like
Yeah,
never even even met.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's really cool. Now you know what I feel like going to watch Forest. That sounds like
Yeah,
me. That
yeah,
sounds like
yeah.
me going to watch
Oh,
Forest.
so yeah, you just start
So,
cheering even though you
so
don't know them.
Yeah. No, it's brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Last question.
yep.
We always have like one of those questions, and I love it. It's from FPL Glasgow. Good friend of ours. He's asking, collectively, how many honey badgers do you think you can beat in unarmed combat?
I ponder this every day. You know, sometimes I think I'll struggle to beat one, and other times I think I could take on 100. That's an interesting question.
Probably for me, it's either half or one. So
Half.
that's because in the end, I'm not going to fight him. I'm going to feed him and send him away. So that's why it's probably half. Or if I'm very passionate, or if somebody is telling me or pointing a gun at my head that you have to do it, then I might kill one, or else I will not. So half to one for me.
I think we are assuming these are hostile honey badgers, though, so you can't just feed them because they're going to keep on, attacking you.
Then one.
Okay. I'm going to be, yeah. I'm tempted to say 2, but I think even that's quite optimistic. I'm not sure I could take a single honey badger, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the pictures of them, and they don't look very friendly. So, I would probably get my behind kicked by one of those. Maybe say 0. But if they're like the cartoon honey badgers that you see in those old videos, maybe 5 if I have trained for a while. Specifically fighting honey badgers.
I mean, I have had a form of unarmed combat with FPL Honey Badger on Twitter in the form of the wonderful game of chess online. He's Norwegian, actually, David. So we have engaged in unarmed combat, if you could call it that. And yeah. So, but he probably beats me more than I beat him.
So Glasgow collectively, yeah. So collectively, what 2? We will be able to defeat.
It's pretty pathetic, isn't it? If you just combine all 3 of us together, we can only take on 2. That's...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. If it's 3, maybe one can hold it. Oh, that. Punch it somewhere. I don't know.
As you can tell, we think of ourselves as really macho men who are so hard. As you can tell from our answers here.
We're 3 guys making a fancy podcast. We're not wild beast in the nature. So,
yeah. Sorry, Glasgow, to disappoint you, but next 2.
Should we look at our teams then? That was the last question, right?
Yeah.
And then we will wrap this episode up. Who have we got first? That is Abhishek. So what are your kind of early thoughts for game week 32 coming up this weekend?
Well, seemingly Mbappe, after many discussions having Mbappe, seemingly I think will have to come in, and possibly I am looking at selling Dumfries and downgrading to some cheap, I think Goodmanson or Jallo, so that I can have the money to do some more transfers ahead of game week 33. So in my radar, I think I have another midfielder, and another doubling defender. So I need the money to do it. So possibly, I think I might have. So yeah. So thinking about that, Dumfries and Salah is on the chopping block to sell, and possibly Mbappe is coming in, and a 4.5 million defender. So that's it. And
Cool.
if Mbappe is coming in, then I'm captaining him. Why am I bringing him in first? And I'm vice captaining Felix and giving my emergency captaincy to Lewandowski.
Vicing Felix is an interesting one. Cool. The
Yeah.
next team, that's my team actually this time. So I basically need to decide what I'm doing in game week 33. I know I'm going to do Muller to Mbappe. I'm almost certainly going to get Musa Dembele. I just need to think about whether I roll or whether I do Muller to Mbappe a week early. Whether that's going to potentially bite me, or whether I should just kind of roll for more information. What if Mbappe gets injured, for example? Or do I think he's going to more likely to absolutely smash it, and I need to get him in now? So that's the main dilemma. Do I get Mbappe in now or next week? So that's essentially it. Captaincy, Benzema or Mbappe, depending on that situation. And yeah, I quite like my team. I don't particularly like Sane at the moment in my team, but he does play away in 33. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's tricky because also Felix is a bit awkward because I'm playing away days in 33. I need to bear that in mind. Felix plays at home twice, and it's a question of do I move off of him, which is quite challenging unless it is Ousmane Dembele, because of the price point, or whether I just bench him that week. So that's the other thing I need to decide. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, if you're playing away day, so how many guys you're thinking about starting? It's 11 away guys.
I should do, and then I should also have 3 Real Madrid in there as well, who play away twice. So, I mean, even at the moment, my squad, I think almost all of them have at least one away game. Yeah, De Gea, Angelino, Militao, Diallo, the Bayern Munich guys, and Kunku. Yeah, they all do, apart from Felix, Robertson, Hatabauer, and Kobel. So that is 11 players that have at least one away game. So I'm well set. So now it's quite nice. I can kind of focus on making sure I've got the best assets, not just the quantity, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
Cool.
David, to finish this off.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my team now and I don't like it. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of most of those players. So just don't. This is not representative of what my team will look like this week at all. Because I'm almost 90% sure I'm going to play overhaul because I have 2 boosts left, and I'll try to set myself up for next game week and the double game week at the end of the season. So yeah,
cool.
There will be some tinkering happening tomorrow, and I will look forward to get rid of David and Ocampos and all those other players. So yeah. Most of the players we have talked about this episode will most likely enter my team, and yeah, it's more likely the defense that will be giving me headaches because I think I'm pretty set in my top 8. So we'll have to talk about this later.
Sure. Sounds good. Well, enjoy your wildcard overhaul tinkering in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, before we close it out, the 4th member of our podcast, Mr. Beery, seemingly he doesn't have time for us or time for recording, but we have to share his team news. I think he scored 73 points last game week, and he is currently 50th overall. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that wraps up this episode then. Hope you enjoyed it. Apologies for the lag at times, but thankfully that kind of cleared up towards second half of the pod. And yeah, hope you all have a good game week 32 and enjoy your boost planning and stuff. And we will see you again soon.
Before we close it out, I think Spotify has done something about rating. So if you're enjoying, do give us a rating. 5-star rating will be better, but it all depends upon depends upon you. But give the ratings; it really helps on the rankings as well.
Cool.
So,
yeah, liking and subscribing and all that stuff. Do it. Thanks. All right, we will be back soon for another episode of Guys on Gaffr, and yeah, have a good weekend.